Hi, everybody. It's Doc Talk. It's Leap Day. It is Leap Day every 4 years, and it's a weird weather year. So we're gonna talk about some timely issues today and get into the next season because that's where we are. The words of the day are declining respiratory infections. That's a good thing. Still some people sick. COVID, RSV, flu still present. For those of you who still have the exposures and haven't been sick this winter, I have some people who are still getting vaccinated because they have known exposures. Anytime you get vaccinated, you are building your immune system for response in the future, just so you're aware. And if you have ill family members or you've had it going through your community, some people are still getting one of the three vaccinations: COVID, RSV, or flu. Second story of the week, really, the widespread infection is norovirus, that ugly little GI bug. We talked last time about rehydrating yourself. That's an issue, and it's an issue in the fire service for people in police and EMS. That's an issue for people picking up that little bug. What's really important is that knocks you down for a couple days. It's not just 12 hours of misery on top of 24 hours where you're just not on your game. It's a couple days where you have no reserves, and if you're asked to do physical activity, you're oftentimes really not capable of doing it, and certainly not with the endurance that you usually do. So be aware of that. Number three is, of all things, measles. How about that? An old disease that abruptly has become part of our current environment because people are not getting vaccinated. So I'm sitting in a county right now where there was one child who had clinical measles and was pretty sick with it. And there were 350 people exposed to that child who now are being monitored for 42 days. So you talk about the burden on the public health system. Measles, an old disease, it causes a rash, a fever, a runny nose, red spots in the mouth, red eyes. And so it has characteristics that most young physicians have never seen before. Old people like me have seen it before and had to deal with very ill children with it, who can get septic with it. They can get an infection and inflammation around the brain and other complications associated with it, particularly pneumonia. So we don't want to see measles spread. Those childhood vaccines are so important. And we had practically wiped out measles in this country. Now we're seeing a resurgence in many communities and have had to instruct and educate EMS on managing those children. Anybody who's within 6 feet or more of those children is potentially at risk because it's a very infectious disease. So that's our infectious disease world right now. You know what's timely, though, is I'm watching the Weather Channel, and the Weather Channel is showing fires today with snow falling on the fires and snow not putting the fires out. We are in a very, very rapid transition of seasons. And by the days, in the middle parts of the country through to the eastern part of the country, where we've had very rapid weather changes. In Ohio this week, one morning, 5 tornadoes, most of them low impact. Fortunately, no deaths associated with them. Nonetheless, we're in a rapid weather change. Here's why that's really important to public safety. There is no time of the year that is tougher on your body than going from cold temperatures to hot temperatures. That usually is a slow evolution, and it takes weeks for your body to acclimate. And acclimate is the term that we use for your body's adaptation from one season, one set of temperatures to the other. This year, across my 42 years in the service, this time of the year is when we see people who really get impacted in their ability to do work and stay healthy. And here's the issue. The warmer climate requires you to have some additional fluid stores aboard. When it's cold, you diurese, you get rid of extra fluids. And let's imagine that that process goes pretty quickly. You go from dry periods of the year when you know everything about you is dry. Your skin, your lips, your fingers, everything dries out. Your body has rid itself of excess fluids. And that, frankly, is a humankind issue since the beginning of our existence. In warmer weather, the natural humidity outside climbs, but in addition, your body holds additional fluids. That's because you begin to perspire and you need some extra fluids to be able to perspire. You also lose more moisture out of your body when you're breathing in warm air. So you need some time to build those extra fluids in, and that's what the acclimation process is in human beings. When we have rapid changes from cold weather to warmer weather, and sometimes that's within a day in our modern weather systems, you can have a really tough time trying to acclimate. We found this time of the year when we get working incidents and we're out in fresh, warm weather, that our members have a tendency to get very exhausted very quickly. And if they try to go out and do a second operation, so let's say 2 working incidents in a day outside, they're not able to keep the fluid levels and their hydration levels in good enough shape that they can do the second incident. And oftentimes in that second incident, they will pass out or they'll get clumsy and trip over something that they would never have tripped on had they been in their normal state of hydration, et cetera. If it is very warm, we can have problems with really heat illness and significant heat illness. And this is the time of the year when we see public safety providers and athletes get into significant problems when the temperature's been in the 30s or 40s for weeks on end. And then abruptly you have a day where it's 75, 80 degrees or higher. And in those cases, true heat emergencies is a potential. So for those of you in training, those of you in operative data, in operative jobs, and doing that kind of work, please be careful this time of year. Your best ability to address it is to keep yourself as well hydrated as possible. But hydration requires you to, your body to want to keep it. You can drink all the water fluids that you want to. If it's cold and your body is saying it's still wintertime, you're gonna release those fluids out. You're gonna get rid of that fluid pretty quickly. If you have warmer temperatures coming, a really good idea is to begin to exercise and do activities outside and begin to tell your body, hey, seasons are converting. And in particular, on the warmer days, get outside, do some exercise or other activity, begin to do drills. This is oftentimes in fire service, we're doing hose testing. We're doing deep cleaning of the medic units. Law enforcement is outside because more people are outside. And that's good for you. The more heat exposure you have, the more you're telling your body, hey, it's time to acclimate to the warmer season. We really worry about that because people can get into trouble. And let's say in a couple of weeks, we're getting to 80, 85 degree temperatures very rapidly. That is particularly heat stress time for public safety workers and everybody in the community. So it is Doc Talk, and we're talking on Leap Day. So end of February. March is next. It's got to be in like a lion, out like a lamb, or vice versa. Remember that. And remember, this is the time of the year when the temperatures are seesawing anyway, typically. Beware of those the extremes of weather, so tornadoes. And then in the middle part of the country right now, we have the wildfires. And for those of you who are battling the wildfires, please be careful. This time of the year, they're wind whipped and extraordinarily dangerous. And they're fighting them in places where they oftentimes don't fight wildfires. So they may not have all of the equipment and resources that we have in some of their areas that get wildland fires regularly. Be safe out there. Enjoy your time. Keep yourself healthy as we get to spring soon. We'll be dropping our big coats and getting into our shorts and short sleeves soon. Thanks all. Take care.